Free State Education MEC Makalo Mohale will be celebrating World Storytelling Day with grades 1 to 7 learners. The events to mark World Storytelling Day will run from the 18th to the 20th of March in 2024. The days aim to stimulate a reading culture and enhance literacy. The initiative aims to engage, entertain and inspire audiences, fostering empathy and imagination across diverse communities by sharing stories such as traditional folk tales, personal narratives and contemporary fiction. The purpose of World Storytelling Day is to promote the tradition of storytelling as a means of preserving cultural heritage, fostering understanding between cultures and building connections among people. The day serves as a reminder of the importance of storytelling in human history and its enduring relevance in society as a tool for communication, education and entertainment. And for more on this, we now speak to Carmen, Fredericks, Acting Chief Education Specialist at the Free State Department of Education. Carmen, thank you so much for your time this evening here on SABC News. I mean, you will be celebrating World Literacy, or rather Storytelling Day, and that will take place this week. Maybe just take us through what exactly the Free State Education Department will be doing for World Storytelling Day.
Good evening, Bali, and good evening to all the viewers. Yes, thank you. As the Free State, we will be celebrating World Storytelling Day, which is actually celebrated on Wednesday, the 20th of March. But as one of our initiatives in the Free State, we have allocated 3 days. Starting today, we started with a virtual storytelling session. Today we did it in Sesotho. Tomorrow we will be doing it in Setswana, and then on Wednesday, which is World Storytelling Day, we will be celebrating a virtual storytelling session in English. So we are doing our storytelling virtual sessions over 3 days, and we went the virtual route because we wanted to sort of be able to reach as many learners as possible. But schools are still having their own storytelling activities as well. This is just one of the initiatives from the department.
And why is it so important for us as South Africans, especially you as well as the Free State province, to reflect on this day? Well,
as the Free State, one of our initiatives is to celebrate literacy days. We feel that, literacy days help to instill love for reading, and it enhances language skills, it promotes cultural understanding, and it fosters important social and emotional development in young children. So we also want to bring in that element of fun and enjoyment because, over the years, we sort of lost that spark, that the fun in reading. And we feel as the Free State that this is one way to instill and to foster this love and enthusiasm for reading for enjoyment, and for fun. So that's why we, as the Free State, celebrate these days.
And I mean, it takes me back to last year when we saw that report saying that at least 81% of grade 4s cannot read for meaning. When you look at, statistics of that nature, how concerned are you as a department?
We are very concerned because, we would love to have all our learners able to read for meaning or to read with understanding. The report showed painted a bleak picture, but I must also say it's a global picture. It's not just in the Free State. But this has opened our eyes, I think, as a province and as individuals, that we realize that we need to do something. We need to get reading right in the foundation phase, in the young learners, because it is there where our learners learn to read. And if they can learn to read and get it right in the foundation phase, then when they get to grade 4, they will then be able to read to learn. So we are doing our best, and we are, implementing lots of activities and initiatives to create this culture of reading. Because, if learners can't read, then their academic progress is stunted.
Whose responsibility would you say is it to actually improve literacy amongst children?
I would say it is a shared responsibility. It involves not only teachers, because sometimes I think there is this perception that, it is the responsibility of teachers or schools to teach reading or to teach the children how to read. But literacy and reading is a shared responsibility. It involves parents, community members, organizations, everybody, has this responsibility to promote literacy and to ensure that all learners or everybody has an opportunity to develop strong reading skills. There's also the misconception that reading is the responsibility of the language teacher. And we are firmly against this, because reading is the responsibility not only of a language teacher, but all teachers. And therefore we say it is a shared responsibility, because reading is done across, all spheres of life.
And
so yes, it's a shared responsibility.
And when you say it's a shared responsibility in that regard, what would you say that as a province that you are doing differently to address the literacy problems we are facing as a country?
I wouldn't say we are doing a lot different to what other provinces are doing, or countries for that matter, but we are trying to really implement a lot of initiatives. For one, we have our celebration of literacy days. We are also having our language festival, where we promote spelling bee competitions in not only in English and Afrikaans, but in Sesotho, Setswana, isiXhosa. We are doing book reviews. We have our standardized assessments that we would like our schools to do. We are also passionate about implementing reading proficiency, where we really test the proficiency of learners, because not only does that play an important part, but learners need to be able to read within a certain amount of words within a certain time. And we also need to test the accuracy, their fluency, and ultimately also whether they comprehend what they have read. So we've done those kinds of activities. We've also had a reading conference where we also brought in experts and teachers, where we try to support our teachers and expose them to different and methodologies and new innovations. So those are just a few of the interventions.
And of course, one would always say that, how do you get children to be interested in reading, and how best do we instill that love for reading amongst children?
Yeah, I think what we need to remember is that we are dealing specifically here with our primary school learners. So we starting basically from grade 1. And, I think we tend to put so much emphasis on performance in terms of assessments that most of the time we take the fun out of learning. And primary school learners, we're talking about 6, 7-year-olds, maybe some of them 5 turning 6, until about 12, 13. And I think back to when we were young, learning, we wanted to play. So I think we overlook that element of fun and creativity, and we sometimes tend to stifle our learners. So one of the things is that we need to start early. We need to start, because once our learners or our children have that, we have instilled in them a love and a positive association for books and storytelling and reading.
All right.
And then I think the important thing is also be a role model, because children obviously imitate the behavior of adults. So if they see us reading, then, they would follow. Just, off the point a little bit, but in the National Reading Survey, there was about 14% of South African adults that only 14% that actively read a book once a week or
Yeah.
read any material once a week. So it's scary when we see things like that.
It is indeed.
And
Carmen,
yeah.
thank you so much for your time. Unfortunately, we have run out of time on our side. That is Carmen Fredericks, Acting Chief Education Specialist at the Free State Education Department. Let's take a quick ad break. We'll have more news for you when we return. Stay with us.